Hi, I'm David Malki from the comic strip Wondermark. Comic-Con is a big deal for a lot of people, but I think I'm pretty cool too. So let's find out, once and for all, who's better, me or Comic-Con? Comic-Con was founded in 1895 by the Puritans as a way to keep their young people from ever having sex. Attendees of the first Comic-Con argued about who would win in a fight between Frankenstein's monster and the ghost of Christmas past. Today, Comic-Con is world-renowned as the premier destination for people eager for a legitimate excuse to wear a cape in public. First we have to get to Comic-Con. I'm here at the Santa Monica Airport, and I'm gonna fly to San Diego.
Cherokee Quarry Hotel, Santa Monica Tower, right turn at the shoreline is approved, clear for takeoff, runway 21.
I can fly. Comic-Con can't fly.
Cherokee 48 Hotel, traffic ahead is a 737 on a 4-mile final. Caution wake turbulence, clear to land number 2.
Traffic's always crazy in San Diego around Comic-Con. That's why I have my personal shuttle from the airport.
Yeah, right here.
Great. Thanks so much.
Oh, wait a minute, man. You gotta tip me.
Who's got more freebies? I think Comic-Con wins that one. The two biggest groups represented at Comic-Con are people in ill-fitting costumes and mega corporations eager to sell trinkets to people in ill-fitting costumes. I was taking it all in when I sensed a presence. A presence I'd not felt since... It was Stan the Man.
Stan! Who's better? Me or Comic-Con? Stan! Who's better? If I'm better, just wave or something. Yeah!
Having Stan on my side was great, but frankly I wasn't sure if I could trust the judgment of a guy contractually obligated to like the Fantastic Four movies. So I decided to seek out the opinions of experts in as many different fields as I could find. I figured among all these people, I'd have no problem finding experts in all sorts of different disciplines.
What am I an expert in? I would say comic books.
Comics, webcomics.
Comics, doing comic books, graphic design.
Graphic design.
From a comic book perspective, who's better, me or Comic-Con?
Well, from a comic book perspective, I'm gonna have to say Comic-Con.
I can't beat Comic-Con on its own turf, can I?
Well, you're gonna have to do a little better than you're doing right now, man. Come on, what's up?
The black bastard was right. I'd only have a chance if I stopped thinking like someone after the truth and started thinking like someone after favorable opinion polls, which meant I'd have to start asking the right questions.
Clearly, you would be the more fearsome ninja because Comic-Con isn't stealthy at all. It's this enormous freaking building that I was able to see from the airport, and that's an awful ninja. And I only see you like twice a year.
Excellent.
So, I guess the question really is, who's got better hair, Comic-Con or Dave Malki, exclamation point?
On the one hand, you've got a lot more punctuation than Comic-Con does.
Malki versus Comic-Con. Malki wins. Why? Because at the end of Malki is a whoop. That means extra power, +1.
You have a liver. Comic-Con has no livers. You don't make my feet hurt like Comic-Con does.
Oh, better action figure. Here's how we compare it. Comic-Con, 100,000 nerds. Pale acne.
Talking about hair on top of the head, hair on, facial region.
Comic-Con tends to be a bit chunky and yet squeezed into a Marvel and/or DC costume.
Back hair, hair in the pelvic region.
I don't know, Comic-Con's got, it's got a lot going for it. Brings in a lot of money.
Comic-Con provides a whole lot of money for these artists, whereas you suck money out of me.
This year's Comic-Con is pretty cool.
Comic-Con has a lot of great art, great people, lots of fun things to do.
As Comic-Con itself, I don't really see a whole lot of hair. It's mostly carpet.
But it does have a dark side that even I have not explored, so...
David's pretty cool. David's cooler than Comic-Con.
Comic-Con has a lot of comics.
You have a lot of comics.
Comic-Con has more than one.
Comic-Con has a lot of bad comics. You don't have any bad comics. I think it's pretty clear from my table here to let anybody in, so I think you have the higher quality standards.
If you want to have a dinner party, let's say, and you had a choice between inviting David or inviting Comic-Con, which would you do? I think David wins, definitely. David Malki, tall, strapping, can bench at least 110, if not 115. I mean, a massive amount of weight. You're more portable. You're more easy to, like to fit in a Volkswagen, let's say.
I'm thinking you probably kick Comic-Con's ass.
Even large buses, trams, ferries, in fact, virtually any vehicle. I think it would be easier to fit you than all of Comic-Con.
Who makes a better monkey, me or Comic-Con?
You. Because you're hairier.
No question.
Right, no question. And also, you also still have the tail.
Who do you think is closer to enlightenment, me or Comic-Con?
I think probably you, on the grounds that Comic-Con doesn't have a single consciousness and so can't pursue enlightenment, let alone achieve it.
Comic-Con's just this concrete box. I mean, what the hell can it do? Nothing.
There are plenty of separate, discrete consciousnesses within Comic-Con. Do they aggregate into something that's greater than me?
No, it's more of like a balancing the scales issue. So you've just got your own score, but Comic-Con, for everybody who's dressed up like Sailor Moon, loses some points. Man, it's way behind as a result.
Who's better at reading silently, me or Comic-Con?
Comic-Con doesn't really do anything silently.
I'm gonna have to make it actually a tie, because I can write a lot about panels and developments and announcements here at Comic-Con, or I can vent my spleen and hurl bile at David Malki. Either one is good for column inches.
Comic-Con can't wear a Wonder Woman costume silently, it can't promote books silently, so I think it would be David Malki.
I've done karaoke with you, and I haven't done karaoke with San Diego. So what that tells me is that San Diego is afraid to bring it when it comes to rocking out. So no contest, Malki wins.
As far as hair goes, David Malki.
If Comic-Con can invest in an exclamation mark, maybe they'll be evenly matched, but Malki wins.
I'm gonna have to say David Malki.
I'd definitely have to say that David Malki, you are much better than Comic-Con.
I know I'd want to play with him. I want to play with him now, and he's not even an action figure.
You are capable of acts of compassion. Comic-Con is not.
Comic-Con is royally a dick to small press. So since you're here and you're hanging out and showing some love to the small press, I think you win my vote.
I don't know, Mr. Malki. I think you might win out on that one.
David Malki, a strong man, an honest man, a man of stature in the community, both in comics and in manliness.
You're making a personal connection with me, and we're making eye contact, and Comic-Con doesn't do that for me.
I think I'd take you home to Mom, but you'd have to behave. You'd have to behave. Oh, hey Mom, this is Malki. He's the one I've been telling you about. So
I'll be good.
What do you think?
You gotta move fast if you're gonna beat up Comic-Con. That's all I can say.
I'm confused now.
It nearly makes sense.
I was on a roll, but I knew Comic-Con was looking for me.
Nice, that's the business right there.
Heyo.
I tried to stay mobile and light on my feet, but I was spotted by a nerd. You're a mathematician. Yes. Okay, so if there were an inequality, me and Comic-Con, is it a greater than, less than, which way is it pointing, who's best?
I think probably Comic-Con, because you are here at Comic-Con, so the Comic-Con side would contain you as a subset.
Comic-Con's 11th hour math nerd sucker punch had caught me off guard. The convention was fighting back now, and it had tasted blood. Tomorrow, I'd have to be ready for anything.
I have had perverts looking into this book and searching for the nude scenes, which there are none, I can just assure you. So that's not what the focus really is of this book. But.
So there are some perverts here, right?
I don't know about this. I don't know about this year. I can't like substantiate it, but there might be.
So from a pervert perspective, who's better, me or Comic-Con?
Wait. I'm not a pervert, so I can't give you that perspective. I can only give you my, as a cartoonist.
Oh, you're not a pervert.
I'm an anti-pervert.
Oh, so you're a bigot.
Yes, absolutely. I admit it. But yeah, it's politically correct age we live in, but I'm a bigot. Anyone show up in a costume, man. I'd hate to see what happens to them.
Who's better, me or Comic-Con?
Well, I'd have to say Comic-Con because personally, I would not pay to get inside you.
5 minutes into the day, and Comic-Con was already hitting below the belt. If I wanted to come out ahead, I'd have to stop talking to dorks and perverts. I'd need solid evidence on my side. I went looking for a scientist.
It's not faith. I need the hard facts.
All right.
I'm a scientist. I would have to compute the mass or the volume of Comic-Con versus the mass or volume of you. For sheer density, I think Comic-Con beats you because it's a lot larger.
I'm gonna have to hand it to Comic-Con for now. Plus there's pipes and stuff under the ground and waste. I don't know. There's tubes and steam.
Okay, yeah, okay. You're right.
So I gotta give it to Comic-Con.
Nobody cares about science anyway. Comic-Con's corporate partners have millions riding on the idea that Comic-Con's the top game in town.
Shabak is the correct answer. Congratulations.
Luckily, I had a partner too. If the con hasn't gotten to him first.
Hey, Malki, we need to talk.
Comic-Con is just, I think we're a better match, you know? I mean, like, my mom was kind of like, you know, that guy has, like, facial hair. And, like, Comic-Con doesn't. It's really good. It's over. Don't, I'm gonna need your badge.
But you...
Yeah.
It's over. My mom said, that guy's got facial hair. Comic-Con's better than you.
I don't want to break this to you, but yeah, I'd say Comic-Con's the bigger moron because it's just big.
Seriously.
You're a moron, but yeah, the fact that Comic-Con's just big, it's like the King Kong of morons, yeah.
You're being very active and go get them. I think that you're go get them. So I'm gonna say, actually, Comic-Con is loafing better than you.
I think I'd have to go with Comic-Con.
Come on.
I would have to say Comic-Con edges you out just a little bit.
You really think so?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Sorry.
So how many people do you think are here at Comic-Con?
Today, I'd say probably about 20,000.
20,000. What about over the course of all the days? How many people?
Pushing over 100,000, I would assume.
Over 100,000 people?
Easily. Anymore. I don't know exact numbers. But there is definitely a lot of people here.
Wow. And how many of me are there?
There's one of you.
I was walking and I was looking at the trolley crossing, and all the people, they were smiling, and I was thinking about the time that I'd asked you to tell me, whisper the words I wanted to hear. And there were princes, and there were paupers, and a fat guy dressed as Aquaman. Then you told me, and then you whispered that all of this was better than me. And Comic-Con it won in the battle for your love.
Then they threw me out for not having a badge, and that was it. I'd learned what I'd come here to learn. It was time for me to go home. But I couldn't leave. Not like this.
Hey! Trust me, kid, I'm doing you a favor.
I had one last chance. I need your help. I think that Comic-Con's better than me.
Who's telling you that?
Everybody.
Who? Who's everybody?
There's a guy in the red shirt, and he told me that...
Do they have like a little symbol here? These some Star Trek motherfuckers? David, listen. You ain't beholden to them, dog. You got to do your own thing. All right? Okay. And your thing is up here, Comic-Con. You know, down in the strata.
It's so big.
You know what though? You're bigger.
You really think so?
You're bigger on the inside.
You're right. You're right.
It's real. Can you feel it?
I think I feel something.
Yeah.
I think I feel it.
Go in peace.
All right. Thank you.
Then you told me, and then you whispered that all of this was better than me. And Comic-Con it won in the battle for your love. I have loved you, always loved you, and I love you still. In these halls of Comic-Con.
Well, I'm back from Comic-Con. What have I learned? Well, for one, that Comic-Con is a massive whale beast of a foe, and truthfully, I'm grateful to have even been allowed inside its gaping caverns. I've also learned that not everything has to be an either-or situation. Sometimes something can be great, and something else can be equally great in a totally different way. I guess it took the world's largest pop culture convention to teach me a ridiculous lesson about tolerance. But most importantly, I've come out of the whole situation an enriched and bettered person. Which means that next year at Comic-Con, you'd better watch out. Why have I walked into a fence?